Hello, I'm Pam Carruthers of healingstars.com, and this is the chart for the full moon, which is tonight, and I have set it for London, and it happens at 21:36 BST, and the chart is showing very clearly, hopefully, that here is the moon. It's right, all planets rise in the east and set in the west. So there's the sun below the horizon. So it is dark, not that dark. It's still summertime here in the Northern Hemisphere. And the moon is low. So the moon, always at a full moon, is opposite the sun. So the sun is in the sign of Cancer to do with mother energy, nurturing energy, emotional. It's a water sign. And the moon, always at a full moon, is opposite in the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn is governed in turn or ruled by Saturn. So it's very much about the authority energy, the authority figure, often father energy. So it's father, mother is the dynamic here. And very much concerned with ambition. That's what Capricorn's all about. The rising sign is Capricorn. Here it is, 27, set for London in the UK. And above the horizon, we do see Mars. You might see it in the night sky. It is red and it is visible. So you might not see the moon right now at half past 9, but you might well see Mars. There's an awful lot of positive energy here, which is unusual. Often we get a lot of conflict at the new or full moons. And Pluto, although we can't see Pluto, it's far too far away. But Pluto is actually rising. It's at 2 Aquarius and in a very good trine to Uranus now in Gemini. Now that is big news. Uranus is in Gemini for the first time in roughly 84 years. So if you are over that age, you're having happy Uranus return. And notice the dotted blue lines are positive connections. They're called sextiles. They work well together. So here's Saturn and Neptune in Aries. Neptune has just gone retrograde. Saturn will go retrograde this month. We are always, every year, we have planets go retrograde, apart from never the sun or moon. And this year, we have no Mars retrograde. We have no Venus retrograde. These are the personal planets. The only next really important retrograde will be Mercury, which it does 3 times a year. So Mercury right now, here, where are you, Mercury? It's never far from the sun. And here it is, it's in Leo. So it's spending a long time in Leo. And Leo is to do with royalty, the king, the queen energy, the archetype, and very much about shining, finding your purpose, center of your being. And Leo connects to the heart very much, and the heart is cœur or courage. And that's what my invitation is for you, to find courage, to shine, to speak out, to find that voice of yours. In the chakras, the throat is a power chakra. And often it's said for women, especially at midlife and age 50-ish, we lose our voice. We lose our power to speak up. We don't get taken seriously. And I found that in my career when I worked in a newspaper and everyone was able to speak and they all had titles. And my voice got really not heard at all, even to the case of I suggested something that I thought the publisher would like, silence. And then 5 minutes later, the foreign editor said the same thing. And they all went, oh, well done, well done. So I thought, but I just said that. This is the interesting dynamic that's so important, to be able to speak up and be heard. And this is a very important Mercury retrograde for that very fact. Notice what's happening with Mercury in Leo. It's in a good relationship to Mars. It's a minor little aspect It's called a semisextile, but it is at the exact same degree of 13 degrees. So Mars is also in the sign to do with Mercury. Very interesting and very important. Noticing politics, I follow politics, noticing today what's happening in America, and interesting how women are really stepping up and coming forward. Not all women, but certain women are. Today happens to be a day to acknowledge your teachers in Vedic astrology, Hindu astrology. And I'd like to extend that to all those teachers in my life, spiritual teachers, who have really helped me, really supported me on my journey. And also to my students, to my clients, thank you. I'm always learning, and each client I have, I learn something from. So if you haven't yet experienced a consultation with me, take the plunge, please. It's a 90-minute consultation, and I work with Vedic astrology as well. Now this chart, I'm going to change it a moment. So I'm going to see if I can do that easily. Okay, so I've now changed the chart to show you the Vedic chart. I use Southern Indian style, and it's a template, so I can easily compare one chart with another. Always with the Southern Indian style, the top right is always Gemini, bottom right is Virgo, bottom left Sagittarius, and top left is Pisces. And whole signs are the houses. So here, the first house, I'm just checking it is Lahiri, is Capricorn. And there's Mercury opposite. There's Jupiter and the Sun in the same sign of Gemini, opposite the Moon in Sagittarius. And this is a very powerful axis to do with Mercury, the messenger. It's always the messenger. Information, connecting to Jupiter, the guru, and the Moon in the sign of Jupiter. So this is a really important day. Mars here in Leo. Everything goes back roughly 23 degrees, so it's Leo, is with the South Node. Now that is a very difficult combination. It really is. And right now we have what is called a Kala Sapa Yoga, with the nodes of the moon. Planets are hemmed in apart from the moon. Once Mars moves sign, or moves away from the exact degree of Ketu, it breaks that pattern. And that's an important to know. That's around the 22nd of July, 23rd of July this month. However, at the moment, the moon has broken that pattern. So for you, your chart, when I look at your Vedic chart, I'm looking to see what's happening here in your life. They're called dashes and bhuktis. And the left-hand column, as you can see, are the different planets. And it's like a dance. They dance in turn with each and every other planet in a set order. The full moon, as you can see, is to do with Venus, and the sub-period is Mercury. So Venus, where's Venus here, in her own sign right now, and there's Mercury in the sign to do with the moon. Whenever the moon goes into a sign to do with, I'm just saying with Cancer, once the moon is, for instance, looking and connecting to that Mercury, information can be downloaded. So this is my short video. Please give me feedback. I'd love to know what you think. And also, if you want a catch-up consultation with me, I'm offering that for 1 hour at a different price than my 1.5 hours, of course. So that 1 hour would be £75. So look forward to connecting with you. Pam Carruthers of healingstars.com.